Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Guided Way. I am your guide, Sean McCauley. Before I begin, I would just like to give, recognition to the authors and illustrators who made these decks. Matt Hughes for the Ethereal Visions deck, and Barbara Moore and Heidi Durres for the Mystical Dreamer deck. Ian Daniel for the Phantasmagorian Vampire deck, and Ian Simona Rossi for the Erotic Fantasy Art deck. I think they're all wonderful illustrators and wonderful writers, and without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I just wanted to say thank you all for all your hard work and your effort, because these cards are really beautiful, very elegant, and they speak to me, and so I'm able to speak to others. So I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be able to do this with your cards. Thank you so much. And today I have a little special guest. My buddy Orko from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe has decided to make an appearance. Yay, Orko! I know it may seem silly, but I grew up on He-Man, and Orko was always my dude. Anyways, let's jump into the spread. This spread for 3/16/2024. This is for my Earth sign buddies out there, because I'm a Taurus, I'm an Earth sign, so yay, Earth signs! So let's get right into it. The first card in the read from the Major Arcana of the Ethereal Visions deck is the Tower. So something has occurred recently to where it's been life-altering, life-changing, and it's kind of caused you to step back and take stock of things. And so you may feel like, the tower is crumbling down around you. But sometimes when you're building something up, maybe it's not quite right. Maybe it's not the way you want it to be. Maybe it's not the way you should be. So just, take your pieces, gather up what you can salvage and use, and, build back up again. Because that's the thing about towers. They fall down, we can rebuild. And, not to use this as a bad example, but it's a true example. 9/11, perfect example. We were attacked by terrorists, which was unfortunate, but we bounced back. We were able to rebuild, and we're still here. So, we have that. So, we can always rebuild, take our pieces and rebuild. And sometimes, we really have to lose people in our lives, and it's unfortunate, but sometimes we have to cut people out of our lives. So let's go on to the next card, and it's the Empress. And what that is saying is that, sometimes we have to just not allow ourselves to overreact to situations and overreact to people. And sometimes we can't let our emotions get the better of us. We can't just blow up and just, so she's kind of like the Temperance card saying, this is happening now, but, you may be overreacting. So, just slow down and take a breath. So go on to the Mystic Dreamers deck. And this could be your literal dreams. This could be your figurative dreams. This could be about stuff that you're daydreaming about, or just, everyday life in general. And right here, I have the Hanged Man. And when you see him in a read, it's generally sometimes you need to take a step back. And since he's strung up, he's upside down. So, kind of time to take stock and just, view the situation from a different perspective. It's not necessarily, a bad thing, but, it's kind of a way of saying, put yourself in somebody else's shoes, and try to see things from their side of things. So it's also saying, keep an open mind. And the next card is the Wheel of Fortune. And, so a lot of people say, well, it's reversed. That is bad. That's horrible. And actually, not necessarily so. I mean, it's saying that, yeah, fortune is maybe taking a downturn at this point in time. But, you have to kind of recognize and just, kind of be able to feel the vibe of life. And just, like you're in a river and you're in the rapids. And, when you're running, in the rapids, you have to go with the flow. You can't fight it because you'll lose. And it's just easier if you just kind of just go with the flow at that point in time, and just see where you end up. Wait until you get into calmer waters to take stock. But it's also saying, don't overreact. Keep her cool. You know, take stock. Look at it from a different perspective, because the tower may be crumbling, but maybe you just need to learn how to just go with the flow at that point in time, because maybe life is running faster than what you want it to, or maybe you're running faster than the flow is, and you're hurrying up and you're getting to the end, and that could be pointing you in the wrong direction. And the next card is the Chariot. So you know where you're going. You got the rings, and sometimes normally this card will be depicted by two creatures. Could be two horses, two sphinxes, two cats, or what have you. But it's saying you know where you want to go. You know how you want to get there. Know your strengths, and and rely on that. And then, interesting enough that I said strength, because the next card is the strength card, but it's reversed. So basically, what this is saying is that don't use brute force, because not everything has to be a battle. What it is saying is that kind of coerce the situation. But don't just look for confrontation for confrontation's sake. You don't have to just you get right up in somebody's face, because you're in charge of the Chariot, and so you have to tell them that explain to them and coerce them into, I know where we're going, I know how we're going to get there, but I'm asking you to put your trust in me, and you can't just use brute force to try and get people to see your perspective. So you got that going. And we're going to the main spread, the Queen of Wands, but she's reversed. And what the Queen of Wands is saying is that, sometimes our passions get the better of us, and sometimes we can't let that go into our ego. And we can be driven by ego, and, we can be fierce and we can be loyal, but sometimes our ego gets in the way of things. So I'll even say it, sometimes our vanity gets in the way of things. And so sometimes, we have a tendency to kind of push other people's out of the way. Kind of like, somebody, oh, just let me do that and just let me get it done because I know what I'm doing, you don't. That's ego. And so, you don't want to do that, because the Queen of Wands is very nurturing. She's very passionate, but, saying, look at how you're treating others. And, don't, put them down because you know what you're doing. So it's saying that, maybe you need to be more compassionate with somebody else, and don't let your egos get the better of you, because if you're trying to be a better person, if you let ego get in the way, you're not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting somebody else as well. And the next card, the Wheel of Fortune again, but this time it's upright, so we're getting back into our groove of things. Fortune's starting to smile on us a little bit here. So, up here we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, but now we're getting back into our flow. And so we're starting to get things working towards the way we want to again. But, we're trying to steer the chariot, not force the chariot, but not let our egos get in the way. And when we do that, we come into our own flow again, and things are getting back on track. And then here we have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is a sign of abundance, a sign of comfort, a sign of emotional growth. So maybe you're experiencing, maybe a new love interest, or you've discovered a new hobby, or you discovered something new that you're wanting to do, and that's wonderful. So go ahead and explore that. Maybe you've got a new love interest, explore that. And we'll go on to the next card. The Queen of Pentacles. We got a lot of queens popping up here. And this one is saying, she's very creative. She's very decadent, but she's not a person who's afraid to work and earn what she gets. But she's also at a point where she wants to share her fortunes and the fruits of her labors with those around her, with those that she loves. And I could not ask for a better spread, because I'm an earth sign, and this is what I love doing. And this is what I'm trying to share with others. And you know, even though you don't know me and I don't know you, but you know, this is what I'm trying to share. And this is where I'm trying to get away from my ego, because this is what I'm enjoy doing. And our final card is the Ace of Pentacles. And this is, you know, the start of a new project, the start of or a new idea or a new relationship. But, you know, normally when pentacles are involved, normally it has something to do with monetary gain or monetary gain. But, you know, sometimes it's the beginning of something that gives you a sense of self-worth. You know, this is something that you're doing, but you know, you're learning a craft and you're wanting to explore it and you're wanting to get started and you're really excited about it. And this is my third video, and I have to say that, you know, with the tower up here, you know, since I got into this third video, well, I technically it would be the sixth because I did do 3 intro videos, but you know, this right here, the tower, is kind of changing my perspectives, the things, how I view things, because I'm just starting this, and I'm not going to say I'm always right. And I'm not going to say that I'm never wrong, because I'm not. I'm not perfect. But you know, I'm kind of an introvert. I have a hard time putting myself out there. I have depression. I have anxieties, and I have stress. And you know, this is my way of trying to put myself out there creatively. And you know, so to me, this is a big venture for me. This is a new step, a new direction for me, and this is something that I get to share. And I am just grateful that I'm able to do this. And so if you like this video, hit like, and if you'd like to be a subscriber, I would greatly appreciate it. I do have a Facebook page called Guided Way, where I will do free consultations. Unfortunately, I can only do those on my days off. And I do 3 to 5 card spreads just for the free consultations. I generally do ask for a donation, but that's not necessary. But I also will do bigger spreads, which, you know, some of the spreads that I do are very intricate and very eloquent, and they can be pretty big at times. And I do ask for $15. And but the thing is, for me, I will go through the whole spread with you. And for me, it doesn't matter if it takes 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if it takes 45 minutes. I will go through the whole spread with you. And I'm not going to give you a time limit on that. And so I just throw that out there. So if you're interested, you can look me up on Facebook, Sean McCauley. You can look for my group, Guided Way. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and be blessed. And say, bye, Urko.